I say the group known as the harassers. They're basically actually an extension of Anonymous. There's this group. They're known as terrorists or anonymous, or basically they have a variety of names. Basically, it's basically one big group or something like that. They just go around harassing people. Like I said, they pretend to be senators. They pretend to be this. They pretend to be that. They're basically just pieces of shit. They go around the universe. They go around the planet, and they basically just harass people. I met someone that was a movie. Actually, I didn't meet him, but I saw some video on someone who actually encountered them and knew them, and basically knew how they put speakers throughout the house and basic microphones, and also wired up the TV, and also hacked phones, and basically got into what's called. They didn't really hack phones. They basically got some money, basically stole or pretended to have some money, basically edited a bank account number, so it actually seemed like they had money, and had some cell phones produced, had some TVs produced, stuff like that, stuff they could access basically, and put it into the software or whatever, and set up their own little thing so they could go around and start harassing people, and basically to spy on women, and basically be able to date them, and just have knowledge of stuff. They built a whole bunch of a couple product lines and stuff like that, and basically they have some access to some electronics. Like I say, all that stuff when you go into a spy shop, it's just electronics. That's all it is. It's stupid, and it's just simple electronics. In fact, there was this company or this kid that was selling his spyware or camera setups for houses, so he could actually view and look inside the houses. Because what most people don't know is the software. As soon as you link it to the internet, they can access that too, and they were accessing it. A bunch of wet crotch kids basically messing around, trying to view inside a house or outside of other people's houses, and basically have access to the world, thinking that they were in the world control or something like that. Anyway, they were just going around, the editing people's video and stuff like that. Basically, people would spend full price for these products, like a camera setup or something like that for what's called for a security system for a house, and they would spend like $600, $900 for it. So basically, they get you to pay for the product, and then basically they get access to your house or access to the cameras. That's why you can't really trust most security guard services, because they're just the people that are going to rob you. Anyway, a bunch of people do like this semi-legal shit, and they wander around the planet and do all kinds of stuff, and basically just doing things that they could possibly get away with or can kind of get away with. Eventually, they piss off the wrong person, and their head guy gets killed, or a couple of them get killed. Anyway, it always leads to bad and death and all that other stuff. And like I said, we're not alone in the universe, and there's a lot of other people. Anyway, they go around and they harass you outside, or they'll move in or rent a house next to you, or rent the houses around you, or something like that, or rent a room in one of the houses around you, and then they'll get access to the attic, and then they'll basically start harassing you with ultrasound and making you hear voices and all kinds of other bullshit. They're just bullshitters and annoyances, people. Basically harassers. They pretend to have control of a city or whatever, and they basically just isolationists. The isolationist doesn't mean that they live in isolation. It means they isolate other people and basically make them feel like the world is turned against them. Make them hear voices and sounds, and basically annoy them to death. They're basically pieces of shit. Anyway, they set up towns, and they have like little town controls where they basically sleep with all the girls and basically annoyance. Anyway, it's basically what Bush does, what a bunch of other people do. It eventually leads to death and a bunch of destruction and all kinds of other stuff. And basically, eventually these kids get tortured by somebody who they pissed off. Anyway, not necessarily me. I don't think it's me anyway. It's somebody else. Anyway, eventually, sooner or later, they basically harass everyone. Mostly, they just harass women that they want to sleep with. Like I say, basically just isolate women, pretend to be the hot, cute girl guy for the girl, or they basically harass the women until they sleep with them or something like that. Doing the whole "we'll make it stop." Yeah. Anyway, basically just like it's a group of a couple thousand or a couple 100,000. Even the Boy Scouts have a couple 100,000 members. It's not that hard to get members, especially if you're basically getting guys hooked up. Yeah, they're basically just annoying people. They produce some cell phones, some TVs, and they're basically just shit. They drive fast cars and pretend to be like whatever. They just sell drugs, and basically, like I say, they're not even programmers. They pretend to be high-end hackers. And they basically just, they can edit a spreadsheet. Ooh, they basically pay other people to do all the hacking or all the programming work for them. And they just produce products, basically. They go to China. They have a couple companies basically manufacture things for them, and they make them manufacture these things and all that other stuff. Anyway, it's a long story that I knew about. I know about all these groups. I know about everything almost. Anyway, it's just really annoying. Anyway, eventually somebody else rats them out or talks about them, and then they try and do a swatting maneuver. Where they call the cops to kill them, and then they like bribe one of the cops to accidentally shoot him or something like that. I don't really know. There's a lot of stupid stuff, like that, where just some young kids are really annoying and stupid, pretending to be drug dealers, pretending, it's just all games. Yeah, like the great South American dangerous drug lord, and he's like his name is Fred or something like that, and he has nothing to do with all that. He's like a construction worker or something that has tractors or has some construction company. Yeah, they post all this fake bullshit stuff and do all this and do all that, make them pretend that they do fake stories on each other so they can get dates or something like that, or do this or do that. And they're just an annoying little group. They basically annoy a bunch of other people. They're the existential existence motherfuckers. They're just a bunch of 20-year-old, wet crotch kids. You know, basically it's just a bunch of kids in heat being stupid. Eventually they get themselves captured or tortured or something. It ends badly. So anyway, or a bunch of people who really do feel like the situation's that desperate really decide to kill them because they feel like there's no other way out. So they start killing a few of them, kill a lot of them. Eventually they end up being running scared, or some other life form encounters them and it basically goes after them or takes them over or something like that. I forget what happens to them. Anyway, these groups, if they get away with it long enough, they encounter me or somebody else, mostly somebody else. And like I say, there's a lot of military people out there that just don't give a fuck, and they have their own little group of whatever. There's the civilian whatever, and then there's military whatever. And they're a little bit cooler and a little bit older and basically a little bit more dangerous. Well, a lot more dangerous because they don't give a fuck. It's like, why call the cops when you can just... It's like, whatever. They're pieces of shit anyway. Like I said, if you kill a piece of shit, I'm not going to care. I never care about that shit. Like some stupid kid that's just really stupid or whatever that's being annoying to other people, or, talking shit about something. It's like, I'm different. I'm LS. I'm Lucifer Star. So I'm not just someone that talks shit about other people. These are people that I encountered or someone else encountered. And these are people that were like, no, you're not going to tell the truth about us. And it's like, you know what? Fuck you. A bunch of military people basically told these other groups to fuck off. And these are, well, yeah. It's like, oh, it's like, if you use the A-10 to basically gun them down in the middle of Broadway, I'm not really going to say anything about it. It's like, hey, you encountered a military guy. That's why the military officers, that's not really a court-martial. It's like, yeah, that's not really a court-martial. Anyway, because these kids, they fuck with bases, they fuck with power grids, they fuck with the telephone company, they fuck with everyone, and basically, eventually, a lot of people get pissed off at them, and then they start taking them out. And it's like, you know what? That's not something I get involved with. I mean, there's certain people that are really that bad that I did take out, like Jimmy Carter, and John McCain. He skated by for some reason. I think because he ratted out everyone else to the Chinese or something. There's a couple groups, like I didn't go after the Chinese, I didn't go after the Middle East, I didn't go after Germany, I didn't bomb Berlin, I didn't go after Russia. I had nothing to do with that. In fact, I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Who's killing these people? Because I didn't have anything to do with it, but apparently somebody was like, retarded attack. It's like, wow, so you're just shooting civilians with guns. That's retarded. Anyway, and they're trying to pretend like they're working for Lucifer Star or working for this, so on, or they're looking for that. It's like, I'm not affiliated with any of those groups. Like, I was mildly affiliated with like in the Middle East, I gave them aircraft so they could, defend themselves or some shit. I gave a lot of guns out to a lot of different groups, and it's like, okay, you all have guns. There. Now, if anybody shoots anyone, it's not on me, it's on you. And like, okay. It's like, yeah, okay. Anyway, whatever. Like, a lot of people thought that I was involved in a lot of these things. It's like, no. Actually, I have the bigger involvement of the fact that I'm actually on vacation. I had the bigger involvement of the actual fact that I am the creator of everything, and have seen all this, and I'm just like on vacation with you guys. So, and I could die. I don't care. Whatever. Anyway, there's a lot of people that are a lot younger that have seen a lot less than me. Like I said, I've played with nanotechnology life forms in space. Once you do that, or I've been inside all my life forms and controlled them from the inside out, and to basically build stuff. It was the only way to end all the annoyances.